Hey, wonderful, wonderful people. A pleasant afternoon to you. So, my wonderful Jamaicans, it seems as if a billionaire has hit our island. And I'm saying that, as in a light way. It's not that there are no billionaires here. And it says the University of Technology, UTech Jamaica, on Wednesday hosted Dr. Tricia Bailey, arguably the richest woman to ever emerge from the island. Wow. To discuss possible funding support for its nursing program and less fortunate students, including poor females experiencing period poverty. And that's commendable if that is the case. That's actually really, really commendable, because I know that people may not want to hear this, but the black woman, and I'm not saying this as a means of getting pity and sympathy, but the black woman among other ethnic groups have been the most shafted, the one that suffers a lot of atrocities, even more than the others. I'm not saying that other ethnic groups do not, but the black woman is the poorest. It's among the black community overall, and we do have a lot of baggages because it has been thrusted upon us. Some we had no choice but to take on. Slavery was one of them. Even though the males would have felt it more, but the women felt it as well. And it says, a former athlete, Bailey, through her company, Bailey's Medical Equipment and Supplies, overcame poverty and abuse to become a billionaire and one of the richest black women in the United States. Wow, that's good. And she understands, what it is to not have. So I can understand her generosity in giving back, into an area that she specializes in some sense, or has, some sort of her footing. After landing in a helicopter on the football field at the front of the campus, Bailey and members of her team met with the executives of UTech, as well as students, during a tour of the institution. And this is her now speaking. I came here to listen to what the needs of UTech are, and to be able to hopefully give some guidance and financial support. As a pastor says, not just prayers but potatoes. If a man comes here and say hungry, kill him. Don't just tell him that you're praying for him. Don't just tell him that you're praying for him unless you know nothing for you right there and there. But if you have something, give him some food before you pray for him. Give him the food first. Give him as them say, prayer plus potatoes. So it's the potatoes and then you pray afterwards. Unless you don't have nothing, you may have to look up to the heaven and say, God, me not have nothing, and the money I don't have nothing. I beg you for fight. Send some good Samaritan to help us. Outside of that, you have to not just give prayers, but potatoes in quotation. I'm excited about what I've heard about the direction the university is going. What we discussed was a nursing program and providing some scholarships for some of the students. Very nice. That's very nice. Redeveloping some of the infrastructure so that they're able to have the resources they need. And I know it can be very difficult, for students to go through difficult and arduous time. Some are even unable to finish their program because they don't have the wherewithal, they don't have the funding, the monies needed to complete their education. And she says one project that we mentioned is near and dear to my heart. It has to do with children who are starving, and I believe that the UTech president mentioned it to be a period poverty, meaning some ladies do not have the sanitary napkins they need during their time of the month, and that is so true. It is actually a factual. That's sad. That is so sad. That is so sad. That is so sad. I have already committed to making sure that these students have what they need in order to succeed at the university, and I will continue working and talking through the process for additional support, Bailey told the media, pointing out that no final position has been arrived at regarding the monetary value of her planned assistance to UTech. It says she said she will continue to engage in discussions with the institution to come up with a figure that makes sense. I was in a position where I was one of the less fortunate ones, and I was able to get help from others, from my mom taking me to the United States to build a better life, to the University of Connecticut giving me a scholarship, to my country supporting me the way that it does. Now I am in a position to give back and to pull my brothers and sisters from the island closer to where I am or above. My goal is to be able to inject so much love and positive energy, including my resources. So it's a prayers and potatoes sort of, mantra into the people so that they're able to accomplish the things that they're truly talented at and support the needs they truly have, Bailey said. And it says, President of UTEC, Dr. Kevin Brown, described Dr. Bailey's visit to the campus as a monumentous opportunity. And I'm really grateful to Dr. Bailey for looking out for women in that situation, and for remembering how difficult it was for her financially, and saying, I am not just going to, I'm going to, what she doesn't understand is really aiding in kingdom building. It is doing what the Bible says, loving the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your mind, with all of your strength, and loving your neighbor, treating your neighbor the way you want to be treated. That's the whole duty of man. When you do that you are telling God, open the windows of blessing. And it doesn't only mean financial, because there are many people who are financially wealthy. They're in financial bliss, but mentally they are financial deficit. Psychologically they're in a deficit. Mentally they're in a deficit. Emotionally they're in a deficit. Physically they're in a deficit. And the money is not helping, because it is not being used to help others. I'm not saying that you're going to take all of your wealth, but if you're a billionaire, even if you're a multi-millionaire, good God, give back. Give back your monetary resources. Don't just come and say you're hosting programs and for people to give back. I wish I could have reached out to her. I'm not going to tell you, I'm happy with her helping the students. I know what it is like, and I'm really, really happy, and that she will be helping with the nursing program. I'm not going to tell you in a line, Dr. Bailey, I wish I could have meet you and visit you and have a talk with you. I know some people want some help, including myself. I wish you could have inject some money in the civil servants. I wish you could have come and inject some other funds into civil, into the Jamaica Civil Service Association, and help the civil servants who contribute to the growth and the development of this country in different ways. If individually you might see one or two people that you may want to give back to differently, that's fine. Some people will do that. You may be like that man who he's a trillionaire or whatever he is, or a billionaire in some Indian looking country, and every month he allow some people to come and listen to what their needs are and give them according to what they have said, whether it's needing a house, a car, and all these things. Honestly, I wish I could meet you to tell you, to say, please, I wish you could just extend it to, when I broke your pocket, and your pocket can't broke, my darling. Listen, the Bible says, God says he makes a rainfall on the just and the unjust. He said, once you give to help, and literally, if you read Proverbs 11, once you give, be generous and help others, and you will be helped. So it's like sowing. The more you give, the more you certainly will get back, especially when you're giving in love and when you remember where you're coming from. Like some people don't remember where they're coming from, and they hold and hoard the money, and then they end up dying leaving it and don't get a time to enjoy not even $1 properly out of it. Not even $1 out of it. So for people to really enjoy their money, they have to give back. You can't just live for yourself. Obviously, take care of yourself and lavish on yourself, but lavish on others too. It's a balance. It's a two-way street, not a one-way street. And that is what people keep missing. They feel because they have volition, they have choices, and, nobody can tell them what to do. They don't do it. And they end up not enjoying their money because they don't help others. Once you don't help others, you will not have enjoyment to your money. You're wondering, yes, I'm buying this, I'm doing this, but I'm not happy because you're not doing it for somebody else. I'm telling you, once you start to engage others, help others similarly, the joy starts to come. It's like, the joy is what? Like when fly or pitch pan food, when it smell the food from far, that's a joy. Pitch pan, give when somebody is generous and kind. Joy, happiness, and peace. If they're like flies, I'm going pitch pan you. They're going pitch down pan you once you give. I'm telling you. But once you don't, you're not going to have enjoyment. No peace won't come. No satisfaction. So you're buying all the wonderful things, going all the wonderful places, and still unhappy. Check it. You're not giving back to people. Dr. Bailey, visit me, no, man. Visit me, man. Yeah, man. Let me have a little conversation, man. When you're done, the Lord will bless you. You might just hear say you turn trillionaire. But yeah, But really, really, congratulations are certainly in order to that. And thank you again. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe.